the power of the Daleks is the recently regenerated, or renewed as it's called in this serial, Doctor and his companions land on the planet Vulcan. Not the Star Trek Vulcan, this is different. Where a scientist has discovered a space capsule containing Daleks and is experimenting on them, bringing them back to life. The Doctor warns the Vulcan colony of the danger of the Daleks, but no one will listen. Meanwhile, a rebellion is brewing in the colony and plans to overthrow the governor. Will the Doctor prevent the Daleks from exterminating everyone? And will the rebels overthrow the government or be exterminated themselves? This serial can be found on YouTube from various channels, and has full audio edited together with telesnaps, off-air 8mm recordings, and surviving footage. Some videos you will find either have linking narration by the actors who played Polly to explain the actions that are going on, and some have subtitles to explain the action. To start off, we first continue off where the 10th planet ended with regeneration, or renewal, as it's called. The Doctor moves around trying to get used to his new body. His eyes are out of focus, but once they do, they are better than his previous and no longer needs eyeglasses. He has some memory loss. He looks into a mirror, and for a brief second his reflection is still as the original face, but then fades into his new one. Unlike future Doctor regenerations, he does not shed off the previous personality. Right away he is the clown. He begins to be silly. Polly gets what has happened and still believes it is the Doctor, but Ben doesn't think so. It is interesting to see a companion not trust a newly regenerated Doctor. I have seen other regenerations where companions were confused but never distrusting. So I thought it was an original storyline for the serial to have a companion come to terms with the new Doctor and then trust him completely. It was also neat to have two other storylines in the serial. One is the rebellion subplot, where a small group of colonists plan to overthrow the governor and want to use the Daleks for that means, and of course it backfires. The other storyline is the main one, where the scientist is experimenting on Daleks and plans to use them as servants for the colony. And of course this also backfires, for the Daleks are faking it so they can rebuild themselves and exterminate everyone, as is their game. And seeing those storylines mesh together in a nice flow and come to an ending without any flaws is good, and leaves no unresolved stories that will leave one questioning what happened, or forces the crew to make another story to finish what was not resolved. There were no constant twists and turns, but had a good amount of shocks and good twists to keep the tension up. Due to the second time we get to see the creature, for the second time we actually get to see the creature beneath the Dalek shell, this time more up close and personal. In a scene where the Daleks are reproducing themselves, we see the converter belt with the Dalek bottom halves, and a Dalek scoops up this green mass with multiple arms that squirm around. This is the Dalek creature. It is more disgusting and horrifying than what was seen in the Daleks' master plan. Even though we have gotten used to the new Doctor by the second episode, the Doctor has not. Throughout the serial you can tell both the actor and the character are getting used to everything, so things are off a little, and it is great to see the transition and see the starting point for all future Doctors to follow. Because these episodes are missing, there is not much to tell about this serial other than the usual, that the sets and costumes and stories are all great. However, as was mentioned before, there are still some things that are noticeable and make a mark or impact on Doctor Who and this serial. I give this one 3 stars out of 5. The next serial will introduce one of my favorite companions and the beginning of a beautiful friendship, Jamie McCrimmon. And I'll see you then.